Gold star for everybody. All right, convert to degrees. What are we going to multiply by? 180 over pi, and then what's going to cancel? Pi's are going to cancel. Now, it's non-calculator and everyone's brain works differently. However you think through this is fine with me. Here's what I do. I would leave that 5 there, and then I would do 180 divided by 12, because that's going to make the numbers a bit smaller. Here, I'll even write it out off to the side. If you do 180 divided by 12, 12 will go into 18 once, and then 12 will go into 60 5 times. So you end up with 15 times 5, which is going to be, what is that, 75 degrees? Again, like, you have a brain, you have good number sense. However you think through that is fine with me, but you don't get a calculator, so figure out however your brain does it best, okay? Same with this one. We're going to multiply by 180 over pi. Pi is going to cancel. I'm going to do the same thing. Leave the -7 there. 180 divided by 6 would be 30. And then multiplying those together, you get -210. All right, for 3 and 4, we're doing the same thing backwards. So this time, what are we going to multiply by? Good, pi over 180. And the degrees cancel, just like the pi's canceled in this one. Now this one's kind of nice because also the zeros will cancel. So you get 33 pi over 18, and then those will both divide by 3. So it will be 11 pi over 6. This one, same thing, but this one's going to be a little bit tougher because there's not a 0 that we can cancel out. These will both divide by 5. Also, it's going to be negative. So off to the side here, you know, in the margins of the paper, I'm going to take 315 and divide it by 5. If you can do this in your head, awesome. If not, write it out. 5 goes into 31 how many times? 6. Good. 5 times 6 is 30. Subtract, you'll get 1, bring down the 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times, so you get 63. So that's -63 pi over, and then you would do 180 divided by 5. You can work that out, but you remember how I told you probably just want to know that one because you do it a lot. Does anyone remember what it comes out to? 180 divided by 5? Be 36. If you just want to know that one's 36, you end up doing that one a lot. Now those will reduce again, they'll both divide by 9. So this will be -7 pi over 4. So you multiply either by 180 over pi or pi over 180. The hardest part is like the division, because I'm not giving you a calculator, I know. You'll all be okay. All right, draw the angle. You just have to decide what quadrant you're in. Which one is -5 pi over 6? Careful because you're going backwards. 3, good. That's all you have to do for drawing it. Just put it in the correct quadrant and show me what direction you went. Now this is the reference angle, this part right here. And if you don't write theta prime on your quiz, that's fine, but that's how that's written, is with a little like apostrophe there. Now if this is 5, 6, what's left for this little bit? If this is 5, 6, what's left would be 1, 6. So just pi over 6 is your answer. Because 1 whole pi would be 6, 6. And if you only went 5, 6, you just got 1, 6 left. All right, what quadrant is 135 in? Rotating forwards this time. Second, good. It will look like that. This is your reference angle. It's the acute angle with the x-axis. How can I get that amount? Subtract it from 180. Good. 180 minus 135. What is that? 45? 45 degrees. Hanging in there? Are you getting some of these right? Are you checking yourself and like, okay. Here we're going to draw the angle, state a positive and a negative coterminal angle. You either add on another rotation or subtract off a rotation. What quadrant is 3 pi over 4 going to be in? 2? So you get a point for drawing it. All right, now let's add on another rotation. What is the whole way around worth? How many pi? 2 pi. You're going to take 2 pi and add it to the 3 pi over 4. If the pi bothers you, honestly, just don't write it and then put pi back in your answer. Does that make sense? It's really just fractions, right? You need a common denominator. So if I change this into fourths, how many fourths is 2 whole pi? Good. You have 8 fourths plus 3 fourths, which would be 11 fourths. That's your positive answer. To get the negative one, this is like you go that way, I'll go this way, we'll meet around the other side. So for that one, you're going to subtract. It would be our 8 pi over 4 minus 3 pi over 4. What is that going to give us? When we subtract those? 5 pi over 4, good. And what will you put in front of it to indicate you went the other way? Negative, just make it negative. So again, one is adding, one is subtracting. That's all there is to it, all right? What quadrant is 210 degrees in? Which one? 3, good. To get a positive coterminal angle, you're gonna add on 1 rotation. What is the whole way around in degrees? 360, you're gonna do 360 plus 210. That's gonna be, what is that, 570? And then again, to get the negative one, that's this, you're just gonna subtract. It would be 360 minus 210. So 150, but again, what do you have to put in front of that just to indicate you went backwards? Negative, just don't forget to put the negative in front. And then these are your 2 little formulas. What was your formula for arc length? It was S equals what? R times theta, you just multiply them together. Area was 1/2, what came next? R squared times theta, perfect. The only thing is theta has to be in radians. So this one is in radians, that one's good. This one we just have to convert, all right? So we're gonna multiply by pi over 180. And then we have to divide those both by 5. 135 divided by 5, gosh, what would that be? 227? Yeah, okay, thank you. I was trying to do it in my head because I kind of ran out of space to write it down. Thank you. And then 180 divided by 5 is 36. Those will both divide by 9, so that'll be 3 pi over 4. So you just have to convert that before you do the formula. But this is the easiest formula in the world. You literally just multiply these 2 things together. So it would be 4 times 3 pi over 4. And actually, then the 4s are going to cancel. So what's your final answer? Yeah, 3 pi, and it was meters. 3 pi meters. This one, you don't have to do a conversion because I gave it to you in radians. So it's area equals 1/2 8 squared times 4 pi over 3. So let's try and reduce a little bit of that. I see I have a 4 here and then a half. So 4 divided by 2 would be 2. So and then 8 squared is 64. So 64 times 2 pi over 3. I just reduced the 4 and the 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then you just have to multiply these together. So 64 times 2, 128 pi over 3. And then units were feet for that, but we found an area. So your area would be feet squared. Good.